Hey, welcome back to Year One.
Good to be here.
This episode, we're following a founder named Nadia through one specific stretch, the wait after you hit submit on a YC application.
And in a few minutes, you'll hear her describe that exact moment, hitting submit, then just losing control of what happens next.
She's 24 days into total silence now, waiting on an interview invite. 24 days is a long time to wait on someone else's inbox.
Try running a company through it. Zyna's reporting has the fall 2026 deadline at July 27th, 8 p.m. Pacific, so we know exactly when her clock started.
And Best Startup says decisions land by August 28th. There's an actual date on this.
Which means everything she did in between, the hire she paused, the vague update she sent to our team, that's what we get into with her directly.
I'm curious what you make of her burn mouth, honestly.
Oh, I've already got thoughts on that fundraise she's sitting on.
Later, we bring in Hawaii Sea Partners Rita founder in exactly this spot.
4 batches a year. A no here cost a quarter, not a verdict on the company.
So let's hear it from Nadia, in her own words. That's Nadia. Today's Tuesday, August 4th, and she's already deep into a wait that ends whenever YC decides it ends. You know what I mean? The hardest part is having zero control over the clock. July 27th, 8 p.m. Pacific, Zyner had that date locked back on July 5th, and Best Startup ran the same number 3 weeks later. I've got those dates in my notes. 24 days from submit to decision. So that's the promise you're living inside. What's the first thing you check every morning? And I mean before anything else, before coffee, before thinking straight. And your team?
Best Startups reporting says fall 2026 interviews run by video August into September, and YC usually decides the same day as the call. I spent 15 years watching how compressed timelines change decision-making. This window is real, and it's closing.
So the silence right now
isn't information. It's just nothing yet. Dead air doesn't mean anything. She could get the invite tomorrow or the day before they decide everything.
24 days and the biggest decision of her year is sitting in somebody else's inbox. That's wild, right? You've got a hardwired deadline, but no control over when it actually lands.
Which makes me want to know what she did with the part of this she actually controlled. Because the waiting is the noise. What happened during the wait is the signal.
Because you didn't just sit there refreshing after you hit submit, did you? That's not who you are. Walk me through the 24 days themselves. What did she actually freeze?
You mean besides her inbox?
Besides that, she told me she paused a senior engineer hire she'd already offered, and she pushed back a pilot invoice with her second customer. No new date attached.
Wait, she had an offer out and pulled it?
Paused it, her words. Said she didn't want payroll jumping before she knew if she had a partner interview.
That's a real decision with a real cost, not a placeholder.
Right, and here's the part that got me. She also told me, quote, none of this is really about the application. 2 minutes later, she says she wouldn't have frozen the hire if she weren't waiting on July 27th.
So which is it?
I didn't push her on it in the moment. Probably should have.
Let's run the actual number, because pause sounds soft. She's 24 days in. If her burn is even a modest $12,000 a month, that's roughly $4,000 a week she's spending on payroll and rent, while output on the pilot side sits flat.
And she's not shrinking that burn. She's just not adding revenue against it.
Which is the expensive version of waiting.
So then the update she filed after applying, what exactly did she send her team?
Read it to me.
Quote, continuing to make strong progress and excited about where things are heading. That's the whole update.
Oof.
Yeah, and Zyner's breakdown from July 5th is blunt about this. A good update looks like, quote, we've increased our active users by 30% and signed 2 new pilot customers, bringing our MRR to $1,500. A bad one is exactly what she wrote, vague effort with no number attached.
So she had the tool and used it to say nothing.
She had 2 pilot conversations moving. She could have written the number and didn't.
Why not?
She said she didn't want to promise a number she might miss before a partner actually reads it.
That's the tale, though. She's optimizing the update for how clean the story sounds, not for what's true right now. And clean stories don't move a number. They just sit there looking tidy while the clock runs.
$4,000 a week, sitting there.
And there's a bigger piece she hasn't said out loud yet, what she's actually protecting by keeping this clean.
Meaning,
I want to know what happened to the money conversation she was having before July 27th, because a paused hire is one thing, a paused round is a different animal entirely.
She finally says, quote, "Let's talk after the 28th, so ideally with good news." That's a raise sitting entirely on one yes.
So the round isn't paused, it's parked on a decision she can't influence. Right. And I asked her straight, did you tell them the truth about your timeline or the version that sounds better? Nothing, just silence. I've spent 15 years reading that silence across the table. It's never about shyness.
Yeah, I caught that pause. That's where the real story lives.
Here's what worries me more, though. She pitched her team last month. Growth, a raise closing, a hire starting back up.
What happens to that story if it's a no? Or worse, a hold with no real answer?
She's got a line ready. If it's a no, we've got options. I've heard that exact sentence rehearsed before. Founders selling their teams on a contingency plan. Same cadence every time.
Does she, though?
That's the question a partner could actually test against hundreds of founders who said the same thing. Pattern that specific claim across 100 applications, and you start seeing which ones are contingency and which ones are pure rehearsal.
Let's put the odds next to it. What's she actually up against here?
Round Funded's breakdown says YC itself puts it near 1%, with third-party estimates for recent batches running 0.6 to 2%.
Ooh, that's brutal math when you're betting everything on one yes.
It is, but, and this is the part that reframes everything, YC Prep App's write-up says YC almost always gives specific feedback on why a team couldn't get in. That feedback is data. I learned a long time ago that no with reasoning beats yes with silence every single time.
So a no isn't nothing, it's information.
One partner's read on one 10-minute call in 1 August. Not a verdict on the company, not a final answer on whether the founder can execute. That distinction, that's what actually matters.
Which is maybe the actual split worth watching. Founders who treat the 28th like a deadline versus the ones treating it like a checkpoint.
And which group keeps building either way.
Zoom out from Nadia's spreadsheet for a second.
To the partner side of the fork.
Right. I've heard partners who read these applications by the 100 talk about two types of founders in the wait: deadline people and checkpoint people.
Break that down.
Deadline people treat the decision date like a cliff. Everything stops. Checkpoint people just keep moving like it's any other Tuesday.
And the checkpoint group comes out of this better.
Every time. Because operationally, a no barely moves anything.
It feels like it moves everything, though.
Feels like it. Doesn't run the company that way.
Walk me through that. I've seen it 100 times. Founders convincing themselves rejection ends the whole story.
The money only moves on acceptance. YC's standard $500,000 deal funds once you're actually in the batch, not when you apply.
So a yes changes the bank balance in days.
And a no changes almost nothing you already had going into that morning.
Nothing operationally. Emotionally is a different story.
Sure, but Nadia's frozen fundraise doesn't get less frozen either way.
There's a math version of this too. YC's running 4 cycles now instead of 2. Winter, spring, summer, fall.
Instead of 2 like it used to run.
Right, which means a rejection this round costs her roughly a quarter before she can reapply, not the half year used to cost founders under the old system.
So the email carries less weight than it feels like carrying.
Statistically, yeah, but I've never met a founder in her actual chair who felt that way.
The real tell partners watch for in an August application is what actually happened after you hit submit, not what got polished before it.
Meaning the deck.
Exactly. Partners read enough of these to spot a founder who padded slides instead of shipping.
And the ones who actually shipped?
A new pilot, a signed customer, revenue that moved,
Right.
A different founder entirely.
That's the actual test, not the 28th,
It's the morning after.
the 29th.
Where things sit today, applications in, on time, no interview invite yet.
And Best Startups Fall 2026 coverage says on-time applicants get a decision by August 28th. That part's guaranteed.
Guaranteed timeline, not a guaranteed outcome.
Right, 2 different things.
I asked Nadia what August 29th looks like. She's got 2 versions ready.
Lay 'em out.
Yes, she restarts the engineering hire that day, and the raise reopens same week.
And a no?
She says she keeps building, tells the team nothing's changed, and reopens the raise on her own clock.
Don't believe that second one, not the way she's saying it now. These plans always shift when the actual no lands.
Why not?
Because the investors she told to wait were told to wait for one outcome. A no doesn't just let her restart the raise. She's going back to people she already asked to pause with less leverage than she had in July.
When I asked her how that conversation goes, she didn't have it worked out. Not on tape anyway.
So the plan for the good outcome is real. The plan for the bad one is a sentence she hasn't stress tested.
That's roughly it.
We're recording the hour that email lands. Whichever way it goes, that's when you see which plan was actually baked in.
Both versions of this conversation are already on the calendar, August 28th.
2 scripts, 1 inbox.
As of right now, her morning routine hasn't changed. Coffee, then the inbox, then everything else. So that's Nadia's wait right now. Submitted on time, and now she's just sitting with it. 24 days in, and the clock doesn't move until August 28th. That's the date Best Startup has locked in for fall 2026 decisions. And whatever lands in her inbox that day, yes, no, waitlist, we're recording the hour it happens. Not after, not next week, the hour. Because what matters now is what she does with the answer.
If you know a first-year founder living through something like this, send us to us, year1@heymodel.com, and leave us a review. It actually helps.
Thanks for sticking with us through this one.
We'll leave you where Nadia left us.
We'll leave you where Nadia left us. I hate submit, and the next chunk of my life isn't mine to steer anymore.